Hey everybody, welcome back to the SKOOKUM Report. Man, it's awesome to be back. I've been gone for close to 2 months. I've been in and out of a couple hospitals dealing with some health issues, and I appreciate y'all's support and your emails that you've sent me. And I just wanted to tell you that it's really good to be back, and I hope that you guys enjoy this next email. It's from a gentleman named Ryan Hanger, and I promised him as soon as I got home I'll read his email. So he's first up, and he's got a couple encounters, and he's from Indiana, and he said, "Hi, I responded to your Facebook post, and here's what I've been told. I actually have 2 accounts of different creatures from the original witnesses. The first one is actually listed on the BFRO. It's report number 25189. Where a husband and wife recall a daytime sighting while their boys swam in Tipsaw Lake near Leopold, Indiana. The second is from a couple of friends of mine, and I'll tell you that one first. They were just out driving one night on a road that I am very familiar with, and to make a long story short, my friends say that they saw something up in a tree to their right, and this gentleman was the passenger, actually, that first saw it, and he said there was just enough light from the beams of the car. He said that while it was up in the tree as they passed, it turned to look at them in the car and had the most demonic look on its face. It then jumped into the next tree in which they were approaching. He looked at our other friend who was driving and asked him if he saw what he saw. He said yes, and immediately sped up quickly to get away. That was the last thing they saw of it. As he was telling me this, I questioned him, "No, was it a bear?" He said, "Absolutely not." And so I said, "Was it a Sasquatch?" He said, "It could have been, but it was small and mean and very fast. I'm thinking probably a juvenile Sasquatch." He basically described a jet black angry chimpanzee. And we have no chimps, no monkeys, and no zoos in our area. The area is interesting. It's the area of the Blue River between Crawford and Harrison counties near Milltown, Indiana. Now, there have been at least 3 UAP sightings here. UAP stands for unidentified aerial phenomenon. I guess that's the new way to pronounce UFOs. I don't know why they changed it, but it's kind of stupid if you ask me. But so there have been at least 3 UFO sightings there, and you should hear my dad's story about one. There was another strange creature sighting at the area, and it includes a car striking a caribou. And there are no caribou around here at all. Another strange occurrence in that area was where a former quarry has left caverns. And in those caverns, there used to be a modern-day witch, in which my minister from my church actually went to talk to her back in those dark caverns. Well, that's the end of that story, and I hope you can find some use to put it on your channel. And I, on the other hand, I'm loosely planning a Sasquatch hunt in southern Perry County, and I know it has been years since those sightings, but I believe you can definitely hear strange sounds. Now, his second story is the one from the BFRO, and I know that sometimes they take liberties in rewriting stories, but take from it what you want. And it's BFRO report 25189 if you want to look it up on their site, but here's everything. It's a husband and wife recall a daytime sighting while their boys swam in Tipsaw Lake near Leopold. Let's see, this was sent into the BFRO on December 20th, 2008, but the incident actually occurred in the summer of 1981 in June. Perry County, Indiana, Lake Tipsaw, near Leopold. It was the nearest road was Highway 37. He says, my wife and I had a sighting in June 1981 at Tipsaw Lake in Perry County. That's about the 100th time I've said that. I'm sorry. We had taken a picnic lunch with us to the park and beach area, only to find it under construction and closed. But we weren't deterred. We did enter the beach area by the way of the boat ramp area where we parked our car. Now, the area was closed that day and not a single person or fisherman was on the lake. And I'm curious, this is me talking, curious as to why it was closed. I wonder if it was because of the Bigfoot. I've heard of a lot of places being closed, for no reason given. And there have been sightings of Bigfoot there. And so the local governments and game wardens and whatnot, they shut the area down. We had two small boys who immediately began to swim at the end of the beach area near the boat ramp. And my wife and I were under a shady tree about 15 yards off the beach watching my boys swim. My wife was putting a picnic together while I was relaxing and looking across the lake. I could see this tall man moving between the poplar trees very strangely, high up on the hillside near a dam to our right. The boys were having a great time playing in the water, making much noise, and this tall dark figure behind began to move down the hillside to the edge of the water and looking towards our boys in the water. This strange-looking creature, person, or thing, or Bigfoot, if you will, began pacing back and forth, looking in the direction of our boys. I continued watching, but I could not believe what I thought I was seeing. I then stopped my wife and asked her to look towards the dam and tell me what she was seeing. My wife and I observed this being for another minute or two when he stopped pacing and began moving up the dam in a diagonal manner. It was probably about some 1,200 yards away. My wife said, "We are leaving. Get the boys and let's get out of here." We then headed back for Crawford County, and we have never forgotten that day. We returned to Tipsaw for the first time this past summer and looked at the spot that invoked all that fear some 27 years ago. Oh man, that should have brought some well-needed closure for you. That's good that you faced that and that you wrote this email just to get it off your chest, man. It was about noon that day, the time and conditions. It was excellent light, they said, and he said, if only I would have had a camera, what a picture that would have been, huh? And the environment, it was a lake with a secondary growth of woodland all around, thickly wooded. The follow-up investigation report by the BFRO was done by investigator Harold Benny. And Harold Benny said, "I talked with the witness and found him to be very credible. Although the sighting was several years ago, it was still very fresh in his mind. We revised the sighting distance to about 300 yards. Okay. We, meaning the BFRO, or we meaning the BFRO and this gentleman here. I don't know. You never know, man. The BFRO, something else. Total observation time was about 8 minutes. He watched the bipedal animal first descend the hill and then pace up and down the water's edge while watching the boys swim. The witness was very adamant that the tall black creature could not have been a bear or a man." And that's the end of that one. Man, I tell you what. Yeah, you gotta watch out for them kids. And it was showing an interest in them kids, man. I'm glad you got the hell out of there when you did, and it was closed anyway. And again, I wonder why it was closed. What was the real reason? I'd like to hear that information, but look, if you or anybody you know has had an encounter or seen a Bigfoot, and you'd like to have it on the Skookum Report, just write it down in an email and shoot it off to me at skookumreport@gmail.com. That's skookumreport@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Leave a comment, man. I enjoy talking to you guys. And I want to thank you for all your support and for coming back to listen. And I'm sorry again for my absence. I'm really glad to be doing this again. It's really good to be back. I want to send a shout out to Big Mike, man. I talked to him while I was in the hospital. Thank you, Mike, for your support and your prayers. I really appreciate you, brother. And so that's it for today on the Skookum Report. I'll see you all very, very soon. And I'm gonna pack a few of these in as soon as possible to get back on track. So that's it for me. God bless you guys, and I will see you again very soon. And I am out.